These are some of the tools we'll be using to install the rear window of this Volkswagen Jetta. APC, glass cleaner, scrub pad with a handle, dirty fin modified so you can scratch across the defrosters, remove all the grit and grime that you cannot remove with the scrub pad. Behind the third brake light, the third light, dirty fin with a clear strip to prevent scratching. And of course your favorite reach tool for the bottom, as much as you can, because it's still going to be about an inch at the bottom. You won't be able to touch inch and a half, 2 inches. Let's get it done. All right, first and foremost, thank you for being here. I have left this rear window soaking in some APC. That way I can come back and scrub it real good, and some of the debris, any of what might be on the window, will be loosened up. And here with a blue scrub pad, I'm agitating the APC all over the window, agitating it. As you can see also on the bottom, it's very, very tight. This tool does not reach all the way to the bottom. There's about 3 inches. But this other tool that I'm using here, it's a big, large plastic razor blade. So it allows all the crud to be cut out from the rear glass, from the defrosters, and in between the defrosters. I would hate to be doing this window as long as it's going to take me, install it, just to find out there are some specs that I missed with my scrub pad. So this large plastic razor blade is key to getting it really, really cleaned out. I would say that perhaps the biggest challenge to doing this 24 Volkswagen Jetta rear window is the prep. If you prep it really, really good, no debris all the way to the bottom and all that good stuff, it should come out really, really good. We're going to reverse roll this window into position. This is a dirty fin, and I'm using it to clean all the way behind the brake light, all the way to the bottom. Whatever little foam suds are in there, this tool allows me to press everything on down away from the glass. We're going to go ahead and heat shrink the back window. I have this prototype, or I have this windshield of a Chevy pickup, and I shrink all my vehicles here. It seems to be, from experience, that about 90% of the vehicles that I shrink here, they fit this curve pretty well. We're using here a rear window shrink aid. It's called Dirty Saws by Dirty Tools. That way, when we're going to be using either a heat gun or a torch to shrink the window, it will be a dry shrinking, and the film will float very nicely on the glass. By the time I plot the pattern and cut it out and weed it, the glass rear window is nice and dry. I'm going to set my pattern here, do my typical H for distribution, getting it ready for shrinking. I'm applying here a little bit of slip solution to every corner so that the film will stay in place, locked in here in every corner. I don't want the pattern to accidentally fall off or slip off the glass while I'm shrinking. So after you have all your corners locked down, go ahead and start your shrink. You may use the heat gun if that's your preferred method, or that's what you like to use. I can use a heat gun, but I am learning, as you can see, I'm learning how to wield the torch. That's pretty much, for me, a faster way of shrinking. But I have seen some of my colleagues shrink with a heat gun very successfully and very fast. But for sure, whatever makes you comfortable in the shrink department, do that. I'm trying to master the torch here, shrinking, and that's the reason we're using it here for this video. After you've done all the torching, I'm going to be weeding out the glass. I'm going to pre-wet the back of the pattern. I'm going to go ahead and release the liner, wet the film very, very good, so that I can do a reverse roll or a cali roll. Take my pattern to the glass, set her up pretty good, and have a successful installation. Be sure and wet the pattern very, very, very good, because that'll be very necessary for laying your pattern on the rear window. What I like to do with these wet patterns is to lock the corners just like that, because when I'm going to roll this pattern into a taquito, into a very small cigar, the clear liner will have a tendency to slip or move from the window film. By the time you're done rolling, you might find that you've exposed some of the window film and gotten it contaminated. So we lock the four corners just as you saw in the video. I've gotten the rear seats kind of down, so my legs and my feet are somewhere inside the trunk. It's a very awkward position for me to be in, but well, these cars are very uncomfortable. You may remove the whole lid, and that'll be a much faster, easier, perhaps installation. Well, not faster, but perhaps easier installation. But we've always chosen to do a lay with a lid on. And that's the reason that I developed the tool that we're going to be using here for these particular rear windows that are very, very hard to access on the bottom area. As you can see, I peeled the film beyond the third brake light so that I may scoot this window down. If you notice the top of the film, I do not allow the window film to touch the top, either the headliner or the glass, because I don't want to get it contaminated. So I'm pushing down and at the same time keeping the top of the film away from the glass. I'm using all my body, my head, everything. I'm releasing the liner, as you can see here, all the way to the edge, and I have the film not touch absolutely nothing. I layer on the glass and keep on sliding down into position. I'm going to go ahead and push the pattern perhaps 1.5 inches even more down than its limit, so that I may proceed and stick the top of the film onto the glass. You can see here now that I stuck the film to the top, and I can see I'm liking about 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to re-scoot it up, and so I have a very successful lay without the top of the film touching the headliner or any awkward dirty spots. I will massage all the film into place, make sure everything's lubricated and position it into place before I start squeegeeing the window. This allows me to not crease the window film, and well, that will pretty much make me start all over again, which I don't want to do that. This handle presser allows me to go ahead and pretty much reach the most I can corners here and there, and because it is wider, like 8 inches, it allows me to do a very nice press all the way across the glass. This is not necessarily the tool of my choice for every window, but for this particular lay, for this rear window of this car, it is a very, very good and useful tool. distribute the film properly on the glass. As you can see, I'm doing it by section. This one goes down and locked here in the defroster so it won't move. You can see I'm trying to reach the bottom, and about 3-4 inches. I'm not. I can't go below that because of the rear deck of the window. That's just the nature of this car. Okay, this is a dirty fin, and this is what I'm doing here, pressing behind the third brake light and then pressing everything beyond the rear lid, which is very, very tight, and any of the tools that I have, they just don't reach back there. I can do the rest without asking my partner for help, but I just find it a little bit faster pointing out these areas right here, those bubbles, and the finger on the left here right there. I'm asking him to tell me, just guide me where they're at and tell me that I've done the squeegeeing successfully, and we'll be done. There you go. Now he's pointing to that area, water, pressing that water out, you can see. And then he'll point out over here on the left side, in the bubble area, well, a little bit more water there. Pushed it out. And after this final press, we'll be done. You have successfully tinted a 24 Volkswagen rear window with me. I appreciate you. Have an amazing day.